Раз. Так, значит, здесь мы включены. Ну да.
Они из одного места все?
Сейчас причем смотреть, то есть в YouTube у нас как бы, если что, давай мы тоже в YouTube пока отключим. Надо будет контролировать. All right. Once again, greeting everyone. Greetings. So we are going to start very shortly. So in about hopefully 2 to 3 minutes. So once again, just a quick opportunity to maybe test the equipment to see if you can hear me all right. Maybe if you would like to test your equipment, you could enable your microphone and just greet everyone as well. Other than that, well, we are just waiting a couple more minutes and hopefully we are starting our event. Получается, да, так. All right, let's just see in presentation. If you could just confirm us, dear judges. Can we see the presentation? Could you just enable your microphone and tell us very quickly? Steffi, maybe you? Could you confirm that you can see the presentation? Can anyone just maybe wave your hands to see?
Yes, I can see it.
All right. Thank you very much. All right, just making sure that everything is
But
all
I
right.
can, until now, I cannot hear.
Uh, mm.
I can hear you. I would like to ask you something. Why did you choose this topic? It's quite interesting, by the way, but why did you choose it? Do you think it's possible that it can be developed to an international level? Okay, thank you.
Hello. You, you can hear me, right? Okay, I'm a little nervous. Uh, and now I share my screen, right? Okay. Good morning or good afternoon. Okay, let me introduce myself again. And my name is Elena, and I would like to give you an overview of my native region. So first of all, where am I from? I am from Yakutia, also known here here as the Sakha Republic. And as you can see, the territory of Yakutia is pretty big, and the territory is so vast that you could fit the United Kingdom into it certain times, and it is only slightly smaller than India. And I think this is the first reason to visit this place. And let's move on to the next reason, which is Oymyakon. It is known for being so-called Pole of Cold, the coldest place in Russia, with the most severe living conditions. Nevertheless, Oymyakon cannot be called deserted in any way. People in Oymyakon are very friendly and are used to tourists who often visit this village. The funny thing is that even in summer you can find snow and ice in Yakutia. Bulus is the ice formed by an underground spring in winter, and I assure you that the Bulus Glacier is a fantastic place to be in the middle of summer. And there is hidden gem to explore, underground laboratory of the Permafrost Research Institute. The main task of the institute is comprehensive study of permafrost, the history of its formation and development. And let's talk about something more than winter, snow, and ice. The fifth reason to visit Yakutia is the national holiday Issekh. This is the most important holiday in Yakutia. Issekh traditionally celebrated on the summer solstice, June 21st. The word Issekh can be translated as abundance, is associated with the cult of solar deities, with the religious cult of fertility, and that's it. Thank you for your attention. And now we have 5 minutes for questions and discussion, right?
All right, thank you very much. The questions,
Hello,
please.
me too. I have a question because I only saw the whole time the first slide. I didn't see the PPT, and I asked my students as well. I think you accidentally didn't turn it on.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
It's okay, it can happen, don't worry. But could you only go for a short time, show me the slide so I can see it?
Okay.
Thank you.
This is the second slide you can see it, right?
I can see.
And the second one, or the third one, Oymyakon. Blues Glacier. Look like this. Underground laboratory of the permafrost research, and the national holiday, Issekh. Like this.
Okay, thank you. Nice pictures. About the glacier, have you been there before?
Yes, of course.
Is this you in the picture?
Not me, my sister, but it is close to my house, so yeah.
Okay, I have a question because it's the glacier. It looks like ice, but in the photos you can see it's quite warm.
Yeah.
So how does it is? So you said in summer you can also have snow there. So during the year, how is the weather in general there? do you have to wear winter clothes and summer clothes, or all the time summer clothes?
Oh, okay. It's a good question. Let me explain. The temperature in summer in Yakutia is normal. Yeah, but in some places like Blues Glacier, you can just find some ice and snow. It
Okay.
is just special place.
How hot can it be in summer? So what is the highest temperature?
Um, because of underground spring in winter, the spring uh, is not froze and just I don't know how to explain. It's just
No,
like this.
only how hot can it get? For example, we have here, we had last week, for example, 33 degree.
Yeah.
So can it be up to 40, or is 30 so the
Uh,
highest temperature?
highest temperature is about 30, I think.
Okay. Okay, thank you.
Mm-hmm. And
All
how
right.
to
And so, well, basically, I don't think we have time for any other questions. Maybe just a quick one.
The last one.
Yeah, maybe the last very quick one.
What is the main tourism specification in Yakutia? Because you showed us very different reasons, like holidays and some interesting places. Is there main, like one specialization, tourism specialization?
I think it is natural tourism, like
Okay,
I don't know,
ecological,
maybe.
natural.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, good. Thank you.
All right, sounds good. Thank you very much. So you can stop sharing your screen. So for me,
And
it's
how
typical.
I
Yeah, you just
ah
you just move your mouse around and you should toggle the panel and you should no, you paused it. Yeah. All right.
okay. So
Yeah. All right, so let's proceed and let's welcome our next presenter, Li Ziyan, with the presentation on technological trends in the tourism industry. All right, so let's just make sure that I see the presenter online. All right.
Okay, I'm online.
Yeah, yeah, sounds great. All right, we can hear you.
Yes, I will control the screen.
All right, we can see your screen. We can see your presentation. All right, and you can start.
Yeah, okay. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Li Ziyang. It's my honor to deliver a speech today, something about technological trends in tourism. As we all know, technology has become an integral part of the daily life and has completely transformed the way we interact with the world. This transformation has not spared the tourism industry, which has also witnessed remarkable change as a result of technological innovations. Tourism is one of the most important organic sections of the global economy, generating millions of jobs and billions of dollars in revenue each year. Advancements in technology have significantly impacted this industry, leading to new opportunities, improving service, and increasing efficiency. Mobile technology lays the most prominent technological trends in tourism today, with a widespread adoption of smartphones and tablets. Travelers are increasingly dependent on mobile devices for accessing travel information, making reservations and managing their itineraries. Mobile technologies has also revolutionized the way travelers spend their holidays, with easy finding the destination and booking the place. the trip becomes easier and enjoyable. All the plies involves getting access to sightseeing attractions, restaurants, and the special activities you want to go for at. Mobile apps such as Scripts and Little Red Book help travelers plan and make decisions about where to go, what to do, and where to eat. These apps also allow travelers to post reviews and share their experiences with others, which enhances transparency and fosters community within the tourism industry. Another significant trend in tourism is the growth of social media. Social media and platform have become a major source of inspiration for travelers, with many people turning to platforms such as Instagram and Facebook to discover new destinations and travel experiences. Social media also medium for both traveling companies and customers. By using social media, monitors tourism brands can get real-time insights into customer feedback and adjust their strategies accordingly. Where the customers can use a review as a reference to plan their traveling. One more trend that has gained momentum in recent years is the use of data analytics and artificial intelligence in tourism. With the help of data analytics, tourism companies can gain insights into customer behavior and preferences, allowing them to tailor marketing companies and offer personalized travel experiences. Artificial intelligence is also being used to improve the efficiency of travel service, such as chatbots that can assist the customers with booking flights, hotels, rental cars, acts. Lastly, virtual and augmented reality technologies have become increasingly popular in the tourism industry. Virtual reality allows travelers to explore destinations before they even arrive, potentially leading to higher engagement and conversions. Augmented reality offers travelers new and innovative ways to experience their destinations. For example, tourism can use augmented reality apps to learn about the history of a particular location or video 3D models of attractions. In conclusion, the tourism industry has experienced significantly technology change in recent years. With mobile technology, social media, data analytics, artificial intelligence, VR or the AR being the most prominent trends. This advance has enabled travelers to access information and service more easily. We're also providing opportunities for tourism brands to engage with customers and offer personalized travel experiences. With opportunities provided by technology are vast. So the industry also faces challenges such as cybercrime and privacy concerns that need to be addressed. Therefore, tourism companies must embrace technological innovations while also ensuring data privacy and security in order to create a sustainable and prosperous future for tourism. Thank you.
All right. Thank you very much. Let's proceed with the questions.
Okay, can you tell me please what is the best app for book trips in China?
All right. Could you hear the question?
Yes, I hear that. And in my opinion, it's a great plan, and our country in China have a plan to accomplish that the technological innovations for promoting the social programs.
Yeah, but maybe you can recommend me any app which I can use for book my trips.
Yes, and the AR or the VR can be used in the tourism industries, especially the contact Russia and China.
Okay, thank.
All right. Next question, please.
I will have a question. You talked about AI. So virtual reality is quite popular these days. That means, as you said, you can watch from home your destination. What do you think will happen in the future if people can stay at home and watch every destination they want to go to? What do you think will happen to tourism in general?
Okay, it's a good question for me, and
Thank
I
you.
think the meaning for the chance to to feel it, not only watch it in the home. And I think especially the international travel, the AR is a great way to understand the destinations, especially the culture, a different culture between countries.
Okay. And I have only a short question again. Before, one of the judges asked about APP, which can be used. So, in China, Chinese have no problems. Do you think foreigners, if they go to China, do they can use everything what Chinese use, like apps, APP, and so on? Or are there any difficulties?
It's a great problems about apps because we have our own apps and internet in our countries. So it's a great question. We need to resolve it to help the foreigners to solve these problems in the tourism industries to easy to come my country to travel.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you very much for your speech. I want to ask who is the main consumer of like tourism in your country, because you talk about modern technologies, virtual reality, and like different social medias. So for whom do we need to like to use these technologies? Who is the main consumer?
Yes, I here's the question is how to use these technologies, and my internet is not good.
No, I mean, like, who is the consumer of tourism in your country? Because you talk about technologies that I guess young people use, you know?
Yeah.
So, can, like, I don't know how to. What is the middle age of the tourist in China? Like, can everybody use these technologies, like virtual reality, social medias, and others? So we can.
Would be helpful for them.
Yeah, is it helpful for old people, if I can say so?
Well, I understand. And so many people can create a model for elder people. And in China, we create a system for the elder people, like older models, especially we can use the technologies about face. You can use your face to payment or something, like the train stations, you can book the flight.
All right. Well, I guess that should do it in terms of the time given for Q&A. So once again, thank you for your report. And we shall proceed to the next presenter. And we would like to welcome Wang Jinwen and the reports about iconic barbecue mirrors, China's post-pandemic tourism. So,
Okay, can you hear me?
yes, we can hear you. Please start sharing your screen.
Can you see my PPT?
Yes, we can see your presentation. You can start your presentation.
Ladies and gentlemen, have you ever tasted a unique barbecue? Grilled meat wrapped in pancakes with shallots. Have you ever traveled on barbecue trains and barbecue shuttles with one destination? Have you ever heard of purpose-built barbecue city? Have you ever seen an industrial town change its fate by tourism? This place is Zibo, a small city in Shandong province shines bright as the most popular destination. Is the barbecue worth traveling so far? Of course, it's not the barbecue itself, but Zibo's bold innovation and multiple measures that attract so many tourists. For instance, health kits, stomach medicine, and sanitary napkins in public toilets. Volunteer teams of all ages and both genders, and 400 free parking spaces all pander to people's urgent need to experience something new after the epidemic. Unlike other cities where ripping off customers is common during holiday, Zibo carries out the reverse marketing strategy. The price of dishes and hotels is going down instead of up, giving full salary to entertain guests. Waiters treat guests as family members and provide humanized service. In addition, after the barbecue became a hot search, Zibo has never been stingy with the promotion of its tourism industry by media. The government took advantage of the trend and established a barbecue association, making barbecue the city's name card. Besides, the government devotes itself to supervising society from all aspects to ensure that tourists can have the best travel experience. For restaurants giving short wait, the business department requires them to compensate customers. For travel makers when right in public places, the placement will arrive in half a minute. All these efforts strengthen the government's credibility. The label of Zibo has changed from barbecue to a warm city. Perhaps it's the hustle and bustle that truly draw people in, forming an emotional connection between consumers and the whole city. Tourists come from several miles away for the sake of happiness, peace of mind, comfort, and satisfaction. Before the epidemic, people preferred to go to metropolises to experience the luxurious life. 3 years of the epidemic has depressed people for too long. More and more atypical tourist cities attract the attention of tourists. Orange air fireworks and light show on Xiangjiang River have created the label of romantic city in Changsha. The relaxed tea house and inclusive fashion street combine the easeful atmosphere of Chengdu. Endless desert, free camels outline the unique ambience of Zhongwei border customs. In the fast-paced society, all of these cities reveal a life that we have lost and deeply longed for. After the epidemic, people pay more attention to their inner needs. I'm looking for unique and personalized travel experiences that cater to their specific interests, which means tourists are drawn to places that have a compelling image. Effective branding can help tourism businesses stand out in a crowded marketplace. Our tourism market is not lacking in marketing, but proper management, thoughtful service, and emotional resonance. Ladies and gentlemen, humanization and down-to-earth practices become a new trend of tourism development, but no place can rely on the reputation of night celebrity for a long time. Only rely on the unique culture of the city and humanized service can it survive forever. In the future, we need to take Zibo as an example, focus our marketing on consumers' emotional need with effective management of the government, and make unremitting efforts for the benefit of mankind. That's all. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much. Let me just once again try to adjust the camera. So the question, please.
One thing, I want to ask you about. I saw small kids to help the tourists with their luggages. So how does it work?
Sorry, I can't hear you clearly.
All right, we'll try to repeat the question.
Yeah. So I saw about small kids to help tourists with their luggages. How does it work? Because kids are so small, how it's possible?
So how can small kids actually help with the luggage? How is this service possible? How is it offered? Could you just very quickly, maybe?
Do you mean humanized service?
Could you repeat? We couldn't hear ourselves at this time. What was your answer?
Do you mean humanized service?
Yeah, I mean, in your presentation, I saw about small kids to help tourists with luggages. So I'm just curious how it's going.
Humanized service.
Maybe you could open your presentation. We could tell you the number of slides which actually had this information. Maybe this would also help you.
Which one?
So I guess slide number 8. I guess was this.
This one?
Yeah, this one.
Yes. So how is child helping tourists with their luggage? What do you mean by this?
Okay. This is what I talk about the humanized service. As you can see, humanized service refers to a type of customer service that is designed and provided with the customer's comfort, convenience, and satisfaction in mind. It involves understanding the needs, preference, and expectations of customers, and providing services that are tailored to meet those needs. As what I mentioned earlier, waiters treat their guests as family members, and they can cook for you if you don't have time to cook. They will tour you around the city if you want to understand the local culture. They will help you pick up a private car for free if you can't get a taxi. In summary, these pictures are all about humanized service. Human service is all about creating a positive and memorable customer experience by placing the customer's needs at the forefront of service provision. That's all.
All right.
Well, we understand you.
Thank you. Yeah. All right. Yeah. Thank you. Steffi, maybe questions from your side. If not.
Yeah, I have a question about Zibo as well. I heard about Zibo, and until last year or 2 years ago, not really many people heard of it. Why suddenly it became so famous? How did it happen?
Okay. Just as I mentioned earlier, because the government take the reverse marketing and humanize the service, and it can get effective branding. What I mean, the most important one is the government credibility. Before this year, Zibo is not very famous, and the government did a lot to change the government credibility refers to the public perception and trust in the ability of a government to fulfill its responsibilities and obligations, as well as to effectively govern and provide services to its citizens. So, Zibo got this successfully because the government played the important role, so they can lead the people, lead the society to make a more happy ending. That's
Okay.
all.
Okay, thank you.
All right. Thank you very much. So let's welcome our next presenter. So once again, thank you, Wang Jinwen. And welcome Chiburakova Anastasia. So once again, sorry if I mispronounce your first name or last name. With the reports on new technology trends in medical tourism. All right, we can hear you. All right, we see the presentation, and we can start.
According to the World Report on Medical Tourism, the market for medical tourism is estimated as 440 billion annually. The next years will grow by at least 25% per year. Below are some statistics on countries that have been very active in the international medical tourism arena in 2020 and 2022. As you can see on the slide. In 2022, Canada registered more than 200,000 medical tourists, an increase of 50% from the previous year. In the United Kingdom, the number of people arriving for medical treatment was over 500,000, a 10% increase from 2021. Israel has significantly increased the inflow of medical tourists. In 2022, the number exceeded 600,000 people, which is 20% more than the previous year. Singapore is a leader in medical tourism. In 2022, the country received more than 1 million medical tourists, an increase of 5% compared to the previous year. India has also continues to grow in medical tourism. In 2022, more than 2 million medical tourists were registered in the country. As a score of the report, medical tourism refers to individuals traveling abroad to receive medical treatment. The market is segmented by treatment type: cosmetic treatment, dental treatment, and so forth. And geography: North America, Europe, Asia Pacific, Middle East and Africa, and South America. The report also covers the estimated market sizes and trends for certain different countries across major regions globally. The market sizes and forecasts are provided in terms of value for all the above segments. If we talk about the post-pandemic orientation of medical tourism, first of all, the growth of demand for those clinics that specialize in problems caused by the virus. Those, according to the WHO, 1 in 10 recovered patients report remaining symptoms of coronavirus. The US review considers more than 50 different types of complications after COVID-19. Common complications: problems with lungs, insomnia, neurological problems, weakening, cardiac problems, and others. In October 2022, Turkish Airlines launched a program to offer weekly medical tours from the United States that will cost $500. In August 2022, the government of India licensed 10 airports, namely Delhi, Mumbai, and Zafar, to feature special decks, a multilingual portal, and simplified visa norms for incoming international passengers visiting India for medical purpose. Factors that affect the image of destination of medical tourism. First is knowledge of the country. In the context of tourism, destination information is often declarative and can be obtained by tourists on the basis of their experience with the destination, their family experience, information available in various media. The more open the country, the more brightly it positions itself on various platforms. The more people begin to take care of it in the way the destination itself positions itself. Second is security. Safety and security were seen as opportunities for tourists to face criminal activities, such as pickpocketing, environmental hazards, or physical violence. Security is also defined as a situation that is relatively free from the risks associated with crime, terrorism, food, transport, and natural disasters. Third is accessibility. Accessibility in tourism includes all transport infrastructure that connects tourists to clinics and other tourist destinations. And price. The high cost of healthcare in developed countries boosts the market for medical tourism, as developing countries can provide cheaper treatment. Travel to developing countries with good health infrastructure and low healthcare costs. The global medical tourism market is moderately competitive and has several major players. In terms of market share, few of the major players currently dominate the market. The competitive landscape includes an analysis of a few international and local companies that hold market shares are well known, with Healthbase, Apollo Hospitals, and Clinical Medical Link, among others. On January 1st, 2018, a national project, Healthcare, was launched in Russia. One of its tasks is the development of export of medical services. The decree of President of the Russian Federation states that annual volume of export of medical services by 2024 should amount to $1 billion and 1 million foreign patients. The practical purpose of the Council is to reorientate the medical organization to work with foreign patients, their active involvement for 6 months, instead of the standard 2-3 years. Of course, clinics can develop medical tourism without the Council. Already now, many medical organizations have an organized flow of foreign clients. But we did an audit and found that clinics only use 1 or 3 basic channels to attract foreign patients. We have gathered more than 30 active and effective. So here are my recommendations for the development of medical tourism in Russia. First is digital visas. More and more people work in flexible conditions and spend more days traveling, and sometimes stay a few months. Many countries have already introduced legalization on digital visas for travelers. With such a visa, you can stay in the country for a period of 1 year, maintain freedom of movement, and choose a suitable place to live or for healthcare purpose. Second is simplified visas. Simplified visas norms for incoming international passengers visiting, for example, India for medical purposes. Digital medical records. Tour operator will be able to look through the records of the medical book and choose a tour, as well as doctors will be diagnosed and better treated. Biometrical payments. The report Amadeus claims that in 2023, biometrical payments should extend the entire tourism industry. Order meals and flights, go to business class, or pay for any other service related to travel or medical services. All this will be more often seen when going on a trip. Biometrical payments offer contactless, safe, and convenient payment system at all stages. Telemedicine. Telemedicine is a technology that allows patients to consult with doctors and specialists remotely. This technology is expected to reduce the need for patients to travel for medical consultations. Patients can consult with doctors from the comfort of their homes, which will save their time and money. Artificial intelligence. Artificial intelligence is expected to revolutionize the healthcare industry. AI technology can help doctors make accurate diagnoses and recommend the best treatment options for patients. For tourism, AI can be used to provide personalized treatment plans for patients based on their medical history. Virtual reality. VR technology can help patients to visualize the medical procedures before they undergo them. This technology can help to reduce anxiety and stress levels in patients. VR can also be used to provide medical training for doctors and medical students. Wearable technology. Wearable technologies such as smartwatches and fitness trackers can help patients to monitor their health remotely. This technology can provide doctors with real-time data about their patient's health, which can help them to make informed decisions about their treatment. And the last one is blockchain technology. Blockchain technology can be used to store patients' medical records securely. This technology can help patients to access their medical records from anywhere in the world, which can be useful when traveling for medical treatment. In conclusion, technology is expected to play a significant role in the future of medical tourism. These new technology trends are expected to improve the quality of medical care that patients receive and reduce the need for patients to travel for medical consultation. Thank you for your attention. I'm ready to answer all your questions.
All right, thank you very much. Maybe not, well, maybe just don't disable your screen sharing just for now. Maybe we'll have some questions regarding your presentation. Yeah, and actually we just discussed medical tourism not so long ago, so it was quite an interesting coincidence, let's put it this way. Questions, please.
Okay, thank you very much. What do you think about the level of medical care in Russia, like in general? Like not talking about tourism, just the level of medical care in Russia.
Well, I think that there are a lot of say offers and suggestions which can help people to treat themselves more bigger or more cheaper. And our medical technologies are also developing.
Okay, and what are the
According
main
on the world record?
What?
According to the world medical record, Russia has a significant growth, and it has taken 13th place this year of the growth of medical tourism and care.
Mm-hmm. And what are like the main medical tourism destinations in Russia?
I guess it's big cities or like megapolis, Moscow or St. Petersburg, and I guess it can be also Middle Russia or like Yakutia. I'm not sure. I guess Moscow is in the first place because there are a lot of medical centers.
Mm-hmm. Are
And
there
as far as I know,
Russian tourists or foreigners?
I guess for foreign tourists, Moscow is much more available. and for Russian tourists, it can be less affordable. But still, there are a lot of cheaper opportunities for them also.
Okay, thank you.
All right, Steffi, maybe last question, or shall we proceed?
Yeah, you mentioned about make the visa simplified so that it's easier to travel. Do you think if there's any danger if you make medical tourism so simplified, so easier for everyone? Do you think is there any danger?
I don't think that there is a danger because a lot of countries are making this simplified visa for common medical tourists or tourists that come with medical purpose. And as far as I know, Russia has also making a project with the simplified visas.
Okay, good. Thank you.
Dankeschön für deine Frage.
All right. Well, thank you very much. Thank you, Anastasia, for your report. Let's proceed and let's welcome Xiao Xun with the report on 5 reasons for China tourists to visit Moscow. And if I understand correctly, this report is going to be in Chinese. So let's get ready.
Everybody can hear me, right?
Yes, we can hear you.
大家上午好，然后我是来自俄罗斯人民友谊大学的留学。
Could you just open your presentation as well if you have? I think you have your presentation. Could you just start sharing your screen?
Oh. God.
All right, sound looks good. 那我们就可以开始吧。
大家早上好，我是来自俄罗斯人民友谊大学的一名学生，然后我叫肖雄。今天呢，我将作为酒店与旅游管理学院的中国学生代表，然后给大家介绍一下我的旅游项目。然后，首先我们来看一组数据啊，这个数据是2024年到2025年俄罗斯出入境管理局对中国人出入境的一个预测。蓝色的呢是个人的签证入境，然后黑色呢是旅游签证。然后为什么我要放这组数据呢？然后首先就是，2021年、2023的数据确实也是不太好，对，然后，但是数据不好呢，不能代表这个国家不好，然后中间的因素有很多，比如说什么新冠大流行啊，包括中国的关口的一些闭关啊，然后，导致，这2年的旅游数据特别不好，然后。但是最近呢，俄罗斯旅游业专家开始密切关注红色旅游，然后希望可以将更多城市纳入红色的旅游路线，开发各地区红色旅游资源，增加景点数量，并培养高水平的翻译和导游。然后，其次呢，就是也是中俄之间的友好交流呢，促成了2国人民便利的交往。俄罗斯对中国公民拒签率特别低，然后尤其是疫情之后，航班的数量也逐渐增加，中俄航线也陆续开通。然后这个俄罗斯中国人民呢来俄罗斯旅游呢办签证特别方便，所以就是我觉得包括满洲里关口的开放，还有弗拉迪沃斯托克港口的开放。然后接下来我想说一下，因为就目前旅游团队来看，我们的客户群体其实是叔叔阿姨居多的。然后我父母的年纪大多都是建国后跟苏联的关系比较好，老一辈父母上学都学习俄语，然后包括一些文学作品啊，受这些文化的熏陶，老了之后就想来莫斯科、俄罗斯来旅游看一看。然后大家都有一些需求了。比如说，想看看中文的电视频道了，然后需要有一个 快速的 WiFi 酒店，然后包括一些亚洲的食物，然后还有一些比如说中国人去餐厅点餐了，需要一些中国的菜单。对，然后接下来呢，然后我想以一个旅游计划来给大家详细的讲解一下这个 PPT。首先第一天呢，然后就是我们到后我们入住酒店，然后晚上呢是一个欢迎的晚宴，然后晚上大概是俄餐。然后说到酒店呢，我想特别说一下的就是这个，今年3月份，然后我们的习近平主席呢说要前往莫斯科，并入住了这个莫斯科阳光酒店。这个酒店呢是由中国和俄罗斯政府共同建设的5星级酒店。酒店呢于2022年9月30号刚开业，特别新的一个酒店。然后其中它的各项硬件服务达到了国际和国家的领导人标准。它不仅仅是一家酒店，它还是莫斯科中国贸易中心，然后吸引了很多国内外航空啊、金融啊，包括法律咨询等行业入驻。酒店内部的中式园林，然后精设计更是赞不绝口。然后目前呢，莫斯科中国贸易中心已成为莫斯科当地的新地标。然后接下来第二天呢，然后我们就会去莫斯科非常有名的一个地方了，就是我们的红场。红场呢，最开始是苏联的重要节日阅兵的地方，然后西侧是普京办公的地方克里姆林宫，然后北面是国家历史博物馆，然后东侧呢是百货大楼，南侧是瓦西里升天大教堂，包括列宁墓也在里面。总体不大，但是很有历史韵味的一个地方。然后在这里呢，我想特别说一下，就是为什么我们要来俄罗斯旅游。首先啊，我们看俄罗斯人的名字就会感到非常的迷惑，就是名字很长，然后有点不知所措。但是当我们提到俄罗斯的游戏、俄罗斯方块，包括列巴面包、小说《黎明静悄悄》，大家相信都再熟悉不过了。这些呢都是来自于俄罗斯文学、艺术等等，构筑了包罗万象的俄罗斯文化。在这个横跨亚欧大陆、全世界面积最大的国家里，包含了几乎地理书上所有的地形地貌。伏尔加河也不仅是欧洲最长的河，也被当地人称之为母亲河。沿岸最具有代表性的城市伏尔加格勒，也是以伟人命名的斯大林格勒。地球之眼的贝加尔湖不仅是世界上最深的淡水湖，它也是世界上最纯净的湖泊。寒冷的空气和稀少的人口，成就了多情浪漫的俄罗斯文化。所以我的这个题目呢叫5个你必来俄罗斯的旅游。但是我觉得呢，仅仅是5个理由，完全是不够的。然后其次我想介绍一下是这个位于莫斯科红场旁边的故宫百货。这个百货呢，现在已经成为了全球前10的百货大楼。这个百货建立于1893年，它总体给人的感觉不像是一个商场，更像是一个宫殿，里面与莫斯科的地铁如出一辙。然后建筑呢也是非常漂亮，所以来这里旅游的话，一定要看一看这个类似宫殿的百货商场。对，然后这个是我们红色旅游的一个标志性的地方，叫斯大林的地堡。这个红色旅游啊，就是因为俄罗斯红色旅游概念的出现时间比较晚，通常认为红色旅游主要由乌里扬诺夫斯克地区发起的。这个项目是2013年在俄罗斯推动，针对中国游客的一个旅游产品，并且与参观弗拉基米尔列宁的故居相结合。2014年这个项目得到批准，然后并纳入落实在2020年前俄罗斯旅游发展战略的计划之中。然后后来因为疫情导致这个项目没有开展起来，然后以后我觉得这个项目应该会非常的火热。然后在俄罗斯很多都是与苏联历史或者是苏联的领袖相关的特殊旅游景点，然后这些就非常吸引游客的兴趣。然后接下来是我们的第三天，然后第三天，然后准备带大家去看一看这个芭蕾。 啊。然后我们都知道，俄罗斯的体操花是世界闻名的，但是俄罗斯的芭蕾也是世界顶级的。俄罗斯的芭蕾不仅仅是舞蹈作品，看完一场芭蕾啊，就像是读了一本书。大部分的芭蕾都是以歌剧的形式演出的，每一支舞都有它自己的故事。来俄罗斯也是非常值得一看的。然后，然后我就想说完了芭蕾呢，我们想说一下这个纪念品。我们一说到俄罗斯的特色啊，首先想到的就是香肠、伏特加，包括大列巴面包。在俄罗斯最有意义的纪念品还是琥珀，因为俄罗斯有世界上90%的琥珀收藏量，包括在17世纪的时候，俄罗斯的大公当时就建造了一座呃琥珀建造的房子，叫做琥珀屋。这座建筑也是称之为世界上8大奇迹。但是由于二战期间呢，遭到入侵，导致这个俄罗斯这个琥珀房子到现在也是下落不明。然后其次，我想说一下这个套娃，套娃不用说了，这个众所周知。然后呃，但是我在我上学的时候，然后我就问我的导师，我说老师，那个俄罗斯有什么非常好的纪念品吗？我说套娃，套娃。然后我说那个哈尔滨也见到过套娃，他说对，我知道。那个不知道的以为套娃都是你们哈尔滨的，中国的套娃比俄罗斯的好。然后所以我们当时都觉得套娃是哈尔滨的。然后接下来我们看一下第四天啊，第四天我们要去一个莫斯科的公园叫威登汉。威登汉呢其实就是国民经济成就展。在前苏联时期呢，前苏联为了想展示一些在经济科技上的成就呢，建造了这个公园。其中最有名的就是这座人民友谊喷泉，上面每一个女孩呢代表了一个苏联加盟的共和国。参观结束了，然后我们就要去这个 cirque 那个莫斯科的尼库林马戏团观看马戏表演。我们都知道俄罗斯的熊是非常有名的，但是我想说的是，战斗民族驯熊也是非常有一套的。对，然后我想说的是，嗯，给莫斯科，包括俄罗斯对一些对中国旅游的一些建议，包括对游客的一些忌讳吧。就是首先呢，中国人是非常不喜欢数字4号、250号，还有18号等等的一些数字，因为我们之前兼职过一些旅行团，然后给客人安排在18楼啊，客人就当时就非常不高兴，然后所以导致就是以后大家就是非常避免的这些数字，包括4号、250号。然后其次呢，我想说的就是俄罗斯的支付方式目前是只有Visa 支付，还有俄罗斯本土银行支付。然后阿里 Pay 目前普及率也不是非常高，UniPay 的普及率也还有待提高。然后 WeChat Pay 几乎就是不太可以啊。然后包括的话，就是我希望可以在俄罗斯再增加一些免税店。然后因为中国人的购买力还是非常强的。然后其次的话就是我希望，因为有些中国人他不太懂俄语，然后我希望可以做一些中文的买票流程。其次就是中国人对欧洲的食物其实是吃不惯的，然后你让他去品尝1次2次的红菜汤，包括面包。但是如果是为期几天的行程里面全都是俄餐的话，他们是吃不惯的。所以我的建议是，多增加一些亚洲的食物。然后完事儿了，错了，该地是。
嗯，好，那我们就问问题吧。其实我有好多问题，但是
您说。
时间已经差不多。我就问两个。第一个就是第一个就是说实在的已经忘了。就是你那个红色旅游节目。 还是我觉得没有很多东西和苏联有关，和那个共产主义有关。大多其实有很多商店，有很多纪念碑，有很多那个商场，什么都有。但是除了那个斯大林地堡和那个
对，
还有第二个东西，别的都是那个莫斯科日常的那个一些东西。是你觉得可以叫这个旅游节目那个红色旅游节目，是真的是那个红色旅游吗？对
就是您觉得
对中国人来说有意思吗？
您觉得就是这个我的这个红色的旅游项目，就是除了这个斯大林，其他太少了，对吗？但是其实俄罗斯对这个红色旅游项目，就也是近些年来才兴起的，包括一些那个斯大林的地堡了，包括一些历史博物馆，苏联的历史博物馆，然后它的开放其实是比较少的。然后我觉得随着以后的中国人来莫斯科旅游的数量增加，他们的开放应该会更多，包括一些历史博物馆了，包括一些军事博物馆。然后其次我想说的是，为什么我想放一些商场，包括一些旅游景点，包括一些比如说演艺类的节目，因为中国人的购买力是特别强的。然后我们也是希望，通过中国人来莫斯科旅游，然后来拉动整个俄罗斯的一个经济。
好，好，知道了。那继续吧。还有一个问题。
小熊，我有一个问题，对于中国
您说。
人来说，在莫斯科什么是最大的特点？
莫斯科最大的特点当然就是莫斯科的历史建筑，包括俄罗斯的历史文化，对中国人是最吸引的。然后因为中国人对欧洲的一些概念是没有的，然后他们就特别向往呃嗯。比如说红场啦，包括故宫百货啦，然后
好的，我知道了，谢谢。
好well Steffi, unless you have any questions, I suggest we maybe move forward, proceed to the next presentation. Do you think we could do that? Shall we proceed? All right, yeah, I guess so.
没问题，没问题，没问题。
So thank you very much. Let's welcome our next presenter, Yen Xin Yi, and the title of the presentation is A New Era in Tourism Marketing.
Okay, hello everyone, can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you. Start sharing the screen. All right, we can see your presentation. You can start.
Okay. Sorry. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Yan Xin Yi. My English name is Anne. I'm a second-year student studying business English at East&West. Today I try to give you a presentation on a new era in tourism marketing. My presentation will be in 4 parts. Part 1, international travel. Part 2, tourism industry in China. Part 3, a new phenomenon in Zibu, China. Part 4, what the tourism industry needs to do to keep its customers happy. Chinese tourists have always been interested in traveling overseas, and once again, they are just as keen to undertake international travel again. The Asia-Pacific region remains the most popular destination, with Southeast Asia being at the forefront, followed closely by Japan, Europe, and Russia. Lonely Planet published its top travel destinations, which are divided into 5 very different categories. These are Eat, Journey, Unwind, Connect, and Learn. With each category, they list the countries where such activities could take place. So you're able to find a travel destination tailored to your personal travel plan. If you love to eat, try Umbria. Umbria is a region of central Italy. It has arts, treasures, and culinary delights galore, by far fewer crowds. Umbria is known for abundance of meat dishes, particularly lamb, pork, and game. It is brewed over the fire of enormous fires with large quantity of herbs. If you are searching for adventure, Western Australia might be the best place to go. Western Australia, which covers a third of the country, is a place where you can wander along the beach without seeing other footprints, or being one of the few scattered campuses stargating in a national park. Everything is big in Western Australia. The mind-blowing large state of Western Australia offers so many opportunities to take an epic journey. But people still have concerns about health risks while undertaking long-distance travel. They're opting for short-distance travel and breaks. Before I give you an example of a short-distance holiday destination, I'd like to briefly give you details of China's domestic tourism industry. We can see from the slide that it shows the numbers of domestic tourism and the revenue generated from the tourism industry over a 4-year period. In 2019, the numbers of tourists were just over 6 billion. But during the pandemic, this dropped to a low of around 253 billion by 2022. Revenue dropped from a high of 5,725 billion Chinese yuan in 2019 to a low of 2,044 billion Chinese yuan at the end of 2022. With restrictions once again lifted, it is hoped that domestic tourism will once again return to pre-pandemic figures. When considering holiday in China, what do people want? They want to have fun, enjoy themselves, share good time with others, take photos so they can post them on WeChat or other social media platforms. And of course, what they want to do most of all, yes, you got it, they love to eat and eat well. Therefore, in this part, I want to talk about something that really has taken tourism industry by storm. In the city of Zibo in Shandong province, a new phenomenon has emerged, and what the city has done is to merge eating with tourism in a big way. No, not just big, but huge. Most of you have heard Harry Potter and the Hogwarts Express that conveys school children wizards to Hogwarts. Well, Zibo has created the Barbecue Express to convey tourists to the city to taste its famous barbecue foods. It's long been a destination for foodies, but the city has taken it one step further by introducing a train service to take potential tourists to the city. Tourists can travel from many cities in China to Zibo and taste these famous dishes such as roast chicken, fried pork belly, and black rice cake. Zibo is not just famous for its food, but also its hospitality, where everyone in the city welcomes. The city government, in conjunction with the tourism industry, have combined to make Zibo special. Working on social media and various apps such as TikTok, young travelers have been able to see what awaits them in this popular destination before they even start their journey. Not only that, but young people have been able to create much of the video content that encourages people to visit. Just stop and think about this. For the recent May Day holiday, hotel bookings in Zibo were up by a massive 800% compared to 2019 figures, and train tickets for the May Day holidays were double than the Spring Festival. And tickets for the Beijing Source Zibo route sold out within minutes or become available online. By using its initiative and thinking outside the square, Zibo has turned around its tourism industry simply by thinking outside the box, by creating special trains and buses to work with local restaurants. If Zibo can do it, why can't other cities and regions? As I said before, if Zibo can do it, why can't other cities and regions? What must they do? How can they be just as successful, so that cities, towns, and regional areas can once again thrive? I believe that they must always think first and foremost of the customer, and put themselves in the footsteps of the customer. City and regional governments, departments, tourism companies, travel agents, and those involved in the tourism industry will need to work collaboratively, so that customers receive the best service available. When it comes to make a choice as to where they want to go, how they want to get there, how much will it cost, what amenities are available for 8 different age groups, what is available for individuals and groups, etc. Agencies must be able to provide up-to-date and relevant information so that customers feel valued and respected. Having outlined above, how then can those different organizations meet the needs and achieve their respective marketing goals? They need to have a business plan which includes marketing in the short and long term, understand their customer to drive repeat booking and to acquire new customers, use technology to identify loyal customers with the help of deep analytics and customer data platform capabilities, keep customers coming back, and doing more with advanced personalization. And organizations need to use video content that is professionally made and edited, use micro-influencers, such as TikTokers, and not forget the demographics that plays a key role in identifying different customer groups. Constantly review and upgrade the products and business practice so that they don't become stale and outdated. That's the end of my presentation, and welcome any questions that you may have.
All right, thank you very much. And could I just maybe ask the first question? So you've talked about the increase in flows. Maybe you could even show this on your presentation. So bookings went increased like by 200%. All the tickets were sold within 2 minutes. I just wanted to ask, did this city have enough hotels and other resources to actually, accommodate these tourists and to have something to offer for them and to actually avoid some troubles for local citizens so it doesn't overcrowd the city? So that's my question.
You mean, do they have enough accommodations or things like that?
Yeah, sorry, I just didn't pay, I just kind of, didn't pay attention. What was your question?
You mean, do they have enough accommodations for tourists?
Well, that is probably the main question. Yeah, do they have enough accommodation places?
I don't think so. Because there's a famous market called Badaji, and it's just a market for locals. But lots of tourists just go there, for food or snacks, and it's just overcrowded. And those, the locals just complain about the child, the family can't get enough sleep and they're just too noisy, things like that. So I suppose people are not ready for it. But yeah, But it just, the influencers, TikTokers, they just post videos, right? Like, maybe anyone can post video on TikTok. So they just make Zibo go viral. Yeah. So that's a problem.
Maybe it was just a little overachievement. Maybe I don't know. Maybe it's not always a good thing to increase to tourism like by 800% momentarily. But nevertheless, I think once again it was not the problem which your topic covers. Your topic actually covers marketing and the ways to attract this tourist as the ultimate goal. Yeah, maybe any other questions?
I really have
And so from your point of view, do you think like any other Chinese city can duplicate these efforts like straight away? What would be maybe the trickiest part to achieve the similar level of success in other cities of China?
I believe that's a combination because it's not just marketing. Marketing plays a key role, but it's about some other parts. It's just like when the tourists get to a city, all those things like accommodations, hotel booking, tickets, and those food or things like that. I suppose lots of cities, they will treat the locals and tourism in different way. Right. They might charge more for the tourists, but not Zibo. The government of Zibo have announced that they won't, do such a things to cheat on tourists. And I suppose it's influencers like TikTokers, other social media platforms, they need to work on that to post something, that positive about the city. And it's like and the public service, right? So it's just not like marketing, and all those things like how they organize those like restaurants or those owners. So I mean, it's difficult.
All right. Thank you
It's
for
difficult to just kind of copy those the success.
All right. Yeah. Thank you very much. So I think it's actually time we proceed to the next presenter. So once again, thank you, and let's welcome Hu Fan Fan with the presentation Wonderful Gansu Silk Road.
Okay, can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you. We can see your presentation.
Okay, I will start. Sorry.
All right.
Yeah. Hello everyone, my name is Fan Fan and my English name is Liza. I like to give a presentation on the topic 5 reasons to visit my region. Number 9 is the Silk Road, beautiful Gansu. Gansu province in northwest China and the provincial capital is Lanzhou. It's a colorful province, a hometown of the culture and ancestors of the Chinese nation, and farming and nomadic civilization. Before I start, I would like to show you a short video. I'm sorry. Today I will give you 4 reasons why you should take a trip there. I will tell you 7 Silk Road routers for custom, natural scenery, aerospace industry, and architecture. The Silk Road is a marvelous historic trade route connecting the East with the West, which attracts numerous tourists. During the road's prosperous period, brave trade caravans from Chang'an, a capital of ancient China, passed through Gansu and eventually Europe, reached Europe. The Silk Road in Gansu is over 1,600 kilometers long and accounts for one-fourth of the entire Silk Road in length. There are also numerous historic relics and varied landforms. Therefore, Gansu is called the golden part of the Silk Road. Now, I'd like to take you on a tour along the Silk Road and show you a part of the golden part Gansu. The first stop in Tianshui, where we can find the grottos. Tianshui is the capital of the Chinese nationality, where Chinese people multiplied and grew civilized. Here was born Fuxi, the father of the Chinese civilization, for whom a nation great public memorial ceremony is held here every year. In Maiji Mountains, which looks like a stack of wheat and over 7,000 sculptures carved in its throughout different Chinese dynasties. Here tourists can have an overview of the artistic history of Chinese Buddhism and enjoy the most exquisite sculptures. Now we come to our next stop on the Silk Road, Lanzhou Folk Customs. Lanzhou is the only province capital that the Yellow River passes through. The Yellow River flows 913 kilometers through Gansu province and forms various wonderfully engraved landscapes by eroding the banks. Another folk custom are the famous beef noodles. This deeply impress never satisfied tourists. Beef noodles, a common pasta dish, is also a traditional food in Lanzhou City and known as the first noodles in China. Cold noodles is a traditional snack with a strong local flavor. Although it's a snack bar can stay powerful to satisfy hunger, but also as a dish as a wine cold plate. Barbecue. If Lanzhou people's love begins with a bowl of beef noodle, it can be said that a steaming roast meeting gives the day warming end. Every night, the streets often see the scenes there. 3 or 5 friends eating kebabs, drinking beer, talking about the present and the distance, as well as the poetry and the future. The two particularly interesting customs are the Qingqiang opera and the sheepskin wraps, which constitutes a sense of unique local custom in the city. The sheepskin wraps is an ancient water transport tool mainly used for transporting fruits and vegetables from the suburb to the city and transporting pedestrians on both sides of the river. After the poker custom, we come one of the most popular reasons for traveling here, the natural scenery. Danxia landform is known as a gold or overturned color. Color for Danxia is formed from the landform deposition of the lake basin 65 meters years ago. In the alternating progress of rainy season and dry season, different metal ions and oxidize into different valence states, resulting in different color on the bottom layer. After many times of cross-term movements, long-term weathering and stripping and water eroding gradually formed the colorful denser landforms seen today. And Gannan, a land of snow and Buddhism closest to China hinterland. If one could say that love is a predestined yet expected meeting, let's come here to feel the power of faith and experience a land that lies between a flat mountain chain and extensive shaped steppe to feel our soul free. Our next stop on our journey is very special one, the aerospace industry. In ancient times, there were flying passwords, and in modern times, we have the aerospace industry. This is a vivid description of Jiuquan. Jiuquan Satellite Launch Center established in 1958 is a special launch base on the China Aerospace Science and Technology Corporation in Jiuquan City. On April 24, 1960, China successfully launched a human artificial satellite from the Jiuquan Satellite Launch Center, becoming the first successful artificial satellites in Asia. Now we come to our last and one of the famous stops along the Silk Road. Jiayuguan, known as the first mail passes in the world, is located in the Jiayuguan city of Gansu province, 5 kilometers west of the narrow Rift Valley. His store was known as the Throat of Hexi corridor because of the dangerous terrain. Buildings, Jiayuguan is the ancient Silk Road traffic fortress. If Donghuang can be called the crossroad where the world's four major culture meets, the Mogao Grottoes should be called a scared culture temple of humanity. The Mogao Grottoes consist of over 50,000 Donghuang documents constituting a Buddhist paradise in the oases of the Gombe Desert. Now I have to come to the end of my presentation today. You are able to go on the golden section of the road, seeking a spiritual homeland of the Silk Road civilization and recording a new chapter of communication on human civilization. That's all. Thanks for listening.
All right, thank you very much. So maybe just a very quick question from me. Who do you think this Silk Road is the most interesting to? Is it most interesting to Chinese tourists or foreign tourists?
Sorry,
who do you think who mostly
the architecture in Jiayuguan?
I also seem to have some internet problems. So Chinese or international? Could you just once again tell me? Is it Chinese tourists or international tourists? from your point of view?
I can't hear clear.
Well, I guess the data is quite mixed, and both of them enjoy this attraction, these roads. So I guess it's a tricky question to ask, but nevertheless, maybe you could give me an answer later. Do we have any other questions?
Yeah, I have one question. So, Hohenfein, could you tell me please about that landform, Dansha landform? I'm just curious, is it available for tourists to see?
All right. Can you actually buy a ticket and see this place, or is it just an interesting place? Can a regular tourist actually visit this place? Maybe you could open this on your presentation so we can just double check which place we are talking about.
Because it looks so beautiful, and I think maybe some tourists have possibility to go there, or is it still difficult?
I need to go in because it seems like Hu Fan Fan, her internet is bad. I can tell you those places you can visit with the train, as you can stop at those places. So this is possible.
Oh, that's great.
But it seems like she is not there. Eliza, are you there?
Yes.
Okay. Please try to answer the questions, okay?
Okay. Your question is, who would go along the road, most Chinese and or foreigner tourists?
Yes.
I think many times ago, maybe Chinese tourists can go along the road by with the development of the Chinese China's development. I think many foreigner tourists also interested in the Silk Road. Maybe they will visit the region.
Я думаю, что это пойдем дальше уже тогда, чтобы по времени ложиться.
That's
All right. Yeah, that was clear. Thank you for your answer. Well, yeah. Actually, shall we proceed to the next reporter? According to the time limits, I think it's high time we do so. So unless we have like very urgent and very quick questions, I suggest we once again thank you, Pan, for the presentation, and we welcome Безносова Екатерина with her presentation of 5 reasons to visit her native city, place, region, country. I guess we'll find out.
Hello everyone. If you don't mind, turn off my cam and start sharing my screen.
All right.
So, can you see my presentation?
Yes.
So, let's start. The city of the cheapest electricity in all of Russia and the mystical creature on its coat of arms. Yes.
If you just wait 1 second, we can see the very final page of your presentation. Maybe once again you have your presentation open on another screen and we see the wrong screen.
It's right supposed to be the first slide yet.
Sorry. All right, let's start over.
This slide move.
All right. Thank you.
Can you see?
Yeah.
Okay. No?
Yes, we can see. I just misunderstood your purpose.
Okay.
We can see your presentation. Sorry about that.
Okay. Yeah, for the next 5 minutes, I'll tell you about the city where I was born and live. And I'll give you 5 real reasons why it's worth visiting this place. Reason number one. Irkutsk is a real gateway to Lake Baikal and the nearest large city to the lake. And yes, Baikal. This lake attracts thousands of tourists annually with its extraterrestrial beauty. Baikal is especially good in winter. Thick layers of ice transparent like a polished glass. But Baikal is live. Going out on its ice in winter, in silence, you can hear thuds and crackles from the depths of the old Baikal. And yeah, that sounds, if you can hear, that sounds like heartbeat. So, the next one, architectural and ethnographic complex Telsin. The open-air museum is 20 kilometers from Listyanka towards Irkutsk. Here you can see the towers and stockade of the Imlinsky prison, a cascade of war mills, go to Siberian village houses and bird yurts. The everyday life of ordinary Siberian residents is painstakingly recreated here. Every year the museum becomes more interesting. Now you can ride a cart or a sled in it, feed the white camel at the yurt, sweep with the breeze from the ice slide on a collide, and also go to the workshop of a potter, a blacksmith, a glass blower, a weaver, and see how clay is kneaded or embroidered there. Interesting? So, well, there are 3 more reasons ahead. Icebreaker Angora. It's hard to believe, but the world's oldest operating icebreaker is more than Irkutsk. He got to Irkutsk for a reason. It was necessary to extend the construction season of Circum-Baikal Railway to ensure the supply of materials until Baikal finally rises. Now, every winter, an ice town is built there and an ice rink is filled for children and adults. Sukhachov Art Museum, the first picture gallery in Siberia, a collection of old masters. It was collected by Viktor Platonovich Sukhachov, an Irkutsk merchant with a European education and desire for beauty. Having become the mayor, Viktor Sukhachov left trace noticeable even now. Sukhachov remained in history thanks to his gallery, which he collected all his life and then donated to the city. The collection became the basis of regional art museum. The Sukhachov estate, which can be seen on the way to the airport, has also been restored. Cart houses, a gallery, gazebos in the park, a great place to walk. The 130th block is a historical area of Irkutsk, where several dozen old wooden buildings and residential buildings built in the 18th century are concentrated. Some of the objects on 130th quarters serve as museums at the same time. So, in the house of the Topnaev, there is a museum of Siberian Railway. There is a handcraft farmstead in Kurnosov's estate, and the house where, according to historical information, a strike of printing workers under the leadership of Sergei Kirov took place. The museum complex window to Asia is now open. There are also many shops and restaurants and cafes. And the last one, the Baikal Museum. The only museum of the lake in Russia is not only a scientific institution. Here you can see all the underwater boats of Lake Baikal, aquariums, dive to the bottom of the lake in a special bed escape, and see the sealed beach via video broadcast from the protected Ushkani Islands. Baikal seals shows are also held near the museum. It was only in Irkutsk and Listvanka that they learned how to train these freshwater seals. They count, they play musical instruments, they play lifeguards and stick their charming faces out of the water to delight the audience.
Unfortunately, there are still a lot of talk about Irkutsk, and I could give you a lot of more reasons to visit my native expenses. And I hope you enjoy it. Thank you for your attention, and I'm ready to answer some questions.
All right, thank you very much. Let me just maybe very quickly ask the first question. So,
I didn't see any PPT.
yeah,
I saw only see you in Kurtusk, if I pronounce it right, but I didn't see any photos, nothing. I think something was problem with sharing.
I'm sorry.
could you just
Let me try again.
We can see your program with the very last slide open. Maybe you could just very quickly run through your slides just for us to see the pictures.
Yeah, only to see some photos.
Yes, we can see now. Thank you.
The Bacon Museum at the 130th quarter, the Sukachov Art Museum, the Icebreaker Angora, and the Complex Taltsy, and the Lake Baikal.
Alright. Maybe you could just very quickly tell us why did you choose these particular objects?
I can say that these objects are popular for the tourists, and they have all some specific, I don't know. They're very special for everyone who visited. They inspire tourists. They give them incredible impressions. So, and now being in Khabarovsk, I really miss these places. So that's why I chose them in a way that I really want to share these places to all of you.
All right, sounds good. Steffi, your questions?
I think maybe I didn't understand at the beginning. How old is the city or town?
My city is 365 years old, and it's the largest city near to the Baikal.
Okay, and is this stated always the same size, or did it grew in the last 100 years?
Of course, yeah. Now the city is much more bigger than maybe even 10 years ago. They grow so fast.
And how is the tourism in your city? Also international tourists or mainly Russians?
I can say you that when I was studying at my city, there were a lot of Chinese students at my university, and every time I go out, there are a lot of Chinese tourists and Korean tourists, and don't know why, but there are so many Asian tourists in my city, and no one from I don't know, Europe or West. So I think my city is popular to Asian tourists in general.
Okay, thank you.
Unstable.
Ekaterina, I will ask you again. So, what is the best season for visit Irkutsk?
If we're talking about Irkutsk, I'll tell you that it's spring, the latest spring, or early autumn, because the weather in the summer is so hot, and in the winter it's so cold. Like last winter, it was about -50 degrees. So that's why it's not convenient or comfortable to visit my city in such seasons like summer and winter. Yeah, and if we're talking about visiting Bakel or outside the city, the summer is the best season to visit that object.
That's great.
All right, sounds great. Thank you very much. I think our time is up for Ekaterina. We shall thank you her once again, and we will welcome our next participant, Jian Xuan Yi, and the topic is Ancient City, an Unforgettable Trip.
Hello, can you see my PowerPoint?
Yes, we can hear you and we can see your presentation. Yes. Yes, we can see it.
Okay. Dear ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. My name is Jiang Xuanyi. My English name is Redmancy. I'd like to give you a presentation on an unforgettable trip. Let's have a look at the picture here. This was a very popular TV drama in China last year. Parts of the filming locations were on Xi'an City Wall, and the main shooting locations were in Xi'an and close by Weinan City in Shanxi Province. It is set in the ancient city of Shanxi, telling the story of a sadistic love story between a foreign prince and the future crown princess. My presentation consists of 5 reasons why you should visit Shanxi. First, Jinlong Temple. Second, Hanfu. Third, fruit pomegranate. Fourth, etiquette culture. Fifth, martial arts. My first point is the Jinlong Temple. Jinlong Temple, also known as Stone Buddha Temple, which is located in the southern suburb of Xi'an City, Shanxi Province, and covers an area of 120 acres. In the TV drama mentioned above, the prince rebuilt the temple, named it after the princess' father Jinlong, and gave it to her as a gift. Jinlong Temple attracts tourists all year long, but why? First, high reputation. Jinlong Temple was first built in the Sui dynasty and has been around for over 1400 years. Jinlong Temple is one of the influential temples for spreading Buddhist esoteric Buddhism to the outside world. At the same time, a side park was established with this site as a camp. In addition, this picture is a reflection in the TV drama I mentioned at the beginning. This quite impressive history makes it excellent research value. Number 2, beautiful scenery. Xi'an Jinlong Temple imported over 1,000 cherry blossoms trees from Japan and planted them in the temple. The following picture is a photo of the cherry blossoms blooming in Jinlong Temple. It is the most complete variety of cherry blossoms, the longest history of their cultivation, and the most precious culture. The beautiful view is unforgettable for visitors. Next, I want to explain you why Hanfu attract. The Han costume originating from the Corino costume made by Yellow Emperor. It was shaped in the Zhou dynasty and formed a complete clothing system based on the classics from the Han dynasty, becoming a part of the religion's establishment. The Yellow Emperor ruled the world by hanging his clothes outside, which is visible to heaven and earth. This means that the shape of the upper and lower garment was determined by the will of heaven and was scared. Hanfu also influenced the entire Han culture.
and some ethnic groups in Asian countries such as Japan, Korea, Vietnam, Mongolia, Bhutan, and so on have all drawn on the characteristics of Hanfu. The flat cutting method and concise clothing outline of Hanfu make people feel comfortable and natural when wearing Hanfu. It means prosperity because it emerged during the enlightened and prosperous Tang Dynasty. For us, it is a historical witness and reflection of the current appearance of Shanxi, and it has greatly improved our cultural confidence. In the last 2 years, due to the development of tourism culture, Chinese tourists have worn Hanfu abroad, which has a unique influence in China and even the world. Now, I'd like to come to the next point, the most famous fruit in Shanxi. Pomegranate are a specialty of Lintong, Shanxi. In this drama, there is a classic scene where the man buys 3,000 baskets of pomegranates from the princess. But what exactly makes this pomegranate fruit so famous? Shanxi pomegranate is beautiful in color. It's a big fruit with thin skin, juicy with a sweet taste, and rich in nutrition. Furthermore, a famous Chinese poet once praised Shanxi pomegranate. The sun will drop glass cells on the ground, and the wind will turn the flames to burn people. The meaning of this poem is that the seeds inside the pomegranate are shining under the sun, just like the blood is about to drip. A gust of wind blew by, and the pomegranate was like a burning flame. From this, it can be seen that the popularity of pomegranate in Shanxi is very high. Now, I'll come to the next point, the etiquette culture. It is a traditional virtue of the Chinese nation. The 9 ancient ways of performing rituals in China are commonly known as 9拜. 9拜means the 9 ceremony ways of showing respect. Each of the 9 bowls have a different meaning, a different posture for different occasions. Look at this picture. It is Koto. When making a salute, the greeter bends their knees to the ground, presses their left hand on their right hand, arches their hands in front of their knees without depressing them. Head touches the ground and pause for a while. With a gentle movement, I've chosen one important one, which I show you in a short video from the drama. Let's have a look. This is a video about worship on bended knees. Visiting a teacher here requires a morning salute to one's own teacher. Therefore, the princess goes to her teacher every day. It is an ancient form of kneeling worship. Kneeling and touching the ground with one's head for a long period of time is considered showing great respect. When bowing, the greeter kneels down, presses his right hand on his left hand, arches his hand to the ground, and slowly lowers his head to the ground. The head must remain on the ground for a period of time. It is the most important etiquette, often used by courtiers when paying respect to kings.
回殿下，为弟子者。
Finally, I'd like to share with you the world-famous martial art of Shanxi. First, I want to show you a short video that showcased the famous martial art of Shanxi Red Fist, performed in this drama. Red boxing originated in Qing Dynasty and became famous and very popular cult. Red boxing is an East tradition of it is derived in the martial art diverse routines, prehensive techniques, and coexistence of morality and skills. It is the characters of strong and vigorous with lips and bones, of dragons and tigers with full of energy. Now I'll come to the end of my presentation. Shanxi is a very beautiful place worth for visiting. My introduction of Shanxi is only the tip of the iceberg. I hope through my presentation you will be more interested in coming to Shanxi to experience the charm of this historical ancient city. Thank you for all your listening, and if you have further questions, then don't hesitate to ask.
All right, thank you very much for your presentation. Let's ask questions.
Well, I'm just curious, what's the difference between Shanxi temples and other city temples? It's all of them look so beautiful and so bright, especially in the summer. So, what do you think the most biggest difference between them? And Hanfu also we can see in many cities of China.
Yes, Hanfu is a Chinese cultural confidence and cultural prosperity from China to show. It just not only brings us Chinese confidence, but also allows foreign countries and people to experience the charm of Chinese culture. It is not very big difference between every Chinese temple, because most of these temples are show Chinese people the Buddhist culture and have passed this Buddhist culture to everyone.
All right, maybe I just ask a very quick question. So, did you actually watch this TV series yourself?
Yes, I really watched this TV drama, and I really love this TV drama.
All right, thank you. That was my big question. Actually, looking at the time, I guess we can proceed to the next presenter. So, Jian Shenyi, thank you for your presentation, and let's welcome Gao Meiji with the presentation Xi'an, a traditional city. All right.
Hello.
Yes, you can start.
Okay. Good afternoon, everyone. I'd like to make a presentation on Xi'an, a traditional city. Here is the content of my presentation, which includes historical overview, scenic spots and historical sites, local snacks, Hanfu, modernization, and summary. Well, the first part is historical overview. Xi'an is located in the center of China and was called Chang'an in ancient times, which means long-term peace and prosperity. It is a radiant pearl in western China. Xi'an is a national historical, or once the possession of Tianzhu scriptures of the White Goods Pagoda. Brick by brick left by the ancients reveals hidden stories in history. Besides, there are more than 700 ancient buildings and the empress mausoleums located in Xi'an. The picture shows the terracotta warriors, known as one of the 8 wonders of the world. Walking into the museum, you can see millions of soldiers and thousands of chariots, which vividly reproduce the momentum of the Qing army. The lifelike figurines vary in minor and are crafted so exquisitely that even hair strands are visible. After the visit, people were impressed by the craftsmanship of the ancients. China has hundreds of city walls, of which Beijing, Nanjing, and Xi'an have the largest. Xi'an City Wall is one of the most famous walls built in Chinese history. This wall basically maintains the appearance of the complete feudal society wall building, reflecting the outstanding achievements of ancient Chinese city building technology. These days, you can rent a bike and ride on the wall with an overlook of the 600-year-old city. The next historical site I'm going to talk about is the Palace of Huaqing. The name of the Palace Huaqing comes from a poem. Bathed in limpid water of warm fountain pool when the weather still chilly. Hot spring water washed her tender and delicate skin. Hua means slippery, Qing means limpid. The Palace of Huaqing, which combines human story and natural landscape, is renowned throughout the country for its timeless hot spring resources and the love story between the Tang Emperor and honored imperial consort Yang. Now let's come to the Tang Paradise. Tang Paradise, the first large-scale royal garden cultural theme park in China, displays the style and features of the prosperous Tang Dynasty in an all-round way. The Tang-style Asian architecture in the garden concentrates all the architectural forms of the dynasty, which is a complete architectural textbook. With its unique charm and unparalleled historical status, Tang Paradise has become a spiritual home to relive the prosperous time. It will take you to the only cultural journey of the prosperous Tang Dynasty in China. Xi'an not only has a rich history and culture, but it's also known as a food capital. Here you can taste all kinds of mouth-watering delicacy. 肉夹馍, known as a Chinese hamburger or meat sandwich, is a popular street food. 肉夹馍 consists of the crispy wheat bread that is stuffed with various meats and soft rotten meat flavor. The filling is mixed with seasonings such as cumin and chili powder, giving it a savory and spicy flavor. 凉皮, one of the characteristic snacks of Shanxi, which is a type of pasta made from wheat flour. The noodles are served cold and are usually topped with a spicy and sour sauce made from chili oil, vinegar, garlic, and soy sauce. Other toppings may include sliced cucumbers, bean sprouts, and peanuts. It's spicy and refreshing. These two kinds of food, together with a special soda water ice pick from Xi'an, become the classic Sanqing three-piece set. Besides, the steamed cake made from glutinous rice, red dates, kidney beans, and raisins has a soft and delicate taste, whose smell filled the surrounding air with a sweet fragrance. There is also thick pita bread soaked in lamb soup, which is rich in nutrition. As the famous carb capital of China, the oil-spilled noodles are indispensable. Oil splash noodles are delicious Shanxi characteristic pasta dish with an intense collision of hot oil and chili powder on top. A bite of garlic and a bite of noodles is the authentic Shanxi way of eating. Don't forget when you are here to try on the traditional Chinese hanfu and take some awesome photos if you can. The full name of hanfu is the traditional costume of the Han nationality. With the change of times, hanfu also has different varieties. The costumes of each dynasty were also different, reflecting the changes in Chinese history, which also represents the Chinese traditional culture. Nowadays, hanfu is worn by formal occasions, such as wedding ceremonies, as well as in daily life or in performances. Whether it is Grand Tang Dynasty Ever Bright City or the midnight hour of Chang'an, here wearing hanfu seems to return to ancient times and let you immerse the rich and colorful Tang culture. At the starting point of the ancient Silk Road, Xi'an had become a bridge of international trade and cultural exchanges between the East and the West for more than 2,100 years ago. Today's Xi'an is intertwined with a network of railway, road, and air routes extending in all directions. Fast and stable high-speed rail links the whole country. The dense transportation network not only brings convenience to traveling, but also promotes the development of local logistics industry. According to its own niche for economic development, Xi'an has identified leading industries such as equipment manufacturing, tourism, culture, advanced science and technology, and formed various industrial bases, which greatly promoting the local economic development. With the outstanding advantages, Xi'an has become a window city for the implementation of inland opening. Also, Xi'an made large amount of tourists flock there every year. Statistics represents the number of the tourists in Xi'an was sharply rising after the epidemic, and the numbers are still climbing. During this year's May Day holiday, Xi'an has become one of the most popular tourist destinations in China. Now it's the end of my presentation. As the first Asian capital of China, Xi'an has a unique urban charm and attraction. Classic and modern meet in this city. Quaint attractions, pleasant heritage parks, and modernization have enriched this Asian cultural capital of thousands of years. If you've never been to Xi'an, I highly recommend you to visit the city where history and modernity blend perfectly. That's all. Thanks for listening.
All right, thank you very much. So as for the questions, please, any questions?
Yeah, I saw a very interesting presentation, but still I want to ask one question. Which food you can recommend me in Xi'an? What type of dish is most delicious or most popular for tourists?
I'm sorry, can you repeat again?
Yeah, of course. So which kind of dish, which type of dish you can recommend me to try in Xi'an?
Well, in my opinion, the 肉夹馍 is worth to try because it's the famous Shanxi street food. It's very popular. Many tourists come to Xi'an. They choose to eat 肉夹馍, 凉皮, and something like that.
That's nice.
All right. Do you like this food yourself? Once again, another question for me.
Yeah, it's very delicious.
All right, that's good. Actually, looking at the time, so once again, it's it's about time we actually proceed to the next report. So unless we have any other questions, I suggest we once again thank Gao Meiji for her presentation, and we welcome Su Yueyan with the presentation China You Must Come. All right.
Okay, yes, can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay. Good afternoon, everyone. The topic I'd like to share today is China You Must Come. And these are the 6 parts of my presentation, which are natural view, historical sites, transport and technology, and so on. And first, I'd like to introduce the natural views in China. Changbai Mountain Pool in the sky, located in the Jilin province, is the boundary lake between China and North Korea. It is about 4,400 meters long from north to south, formed by volcanic eruptions. It is also the best preserved volcano in China, and it's the deepest lake in China. However, it's important to know that if you want to visit Chiangbai Mountain to see this view, make sure it's a good day. Because of the weather, sometimes the view of the pool will be covered by fog and nothing can be seen. And the rest of the natural landscapes I want to introduce are in Xinjiang. It's at the border to different countries like Russia, Kazakhstan, India, and 8 other countries. For more than 2,100 years, Kashgar has been the #1 city in northern Xinjiang, a transportation hub and a distribution center for goods from the east to the west. And the ancient city in Kashgar is the only preserved traditional historical district with typical ancient Western features in China. And the picture on the right is the Panlong Ancient Road, which has become a hotspot on the Pamirs because of its unique more than 600 S-shaped bends and more than 30 kilometers of U-shaped bends, attracting countless people to take photos here. And when it comes to the northern Xinjiang, we have to mention the Anjihai Grand Canyon, as you can see on the left. The canyon is about 30 kilometers long, while the northwest part is only 2 or 3 meters. On either side of the canyon, red sandstone and gray mudstone alternate to create an astonishing landscape. Another amazing sight in Canis Lake is Canis Lake. The color of the lake changes with the seasons, light, and temperature difference between morning and evening. The Canis Lake, the second largest deep water lake in China, has a water depth of 190 meters. Perhaps it was the fear of what below the lake that sparked the legends of the lake monsters, attracting many visitors to Canis Lake to see the monster. And the second part is the historical sites. The Terracotta Army was created when Qin Shi Huang, who called upon skilled craftsmen to create a large number of burial objects to protect him in the afterlife. Among the many burial objects, the most famous is the Terracotta Army. It can be said that the costumes and looks of each terracotta soldier are unique and were made by more than 800 artisans in imitation of real people. Another interesting fact is the army were buried, so the soldier's surface still retains some of its original color because they hadn't been oxidized. And another historical sites I'd like to introduce to you is the Leshan Giant Buddha, which is located in Leshan, Sichuan province. The Leshan Giant Buddha is the world's largest stone status, one of the holiest places for Chinese Buddhists, and it faces Emei Mountain, another important place of Buddhist worship. The giant Buddha itself is 71 meters tall, covered directly out of the side of the mountain, and more than 100 people can sit on the top of its feet alone. For their daily outfit. And the next part is the transport and technology. In recent years, China's high-speed railway has reached a world-leading speed of 350 kilometers per hour. At such speed, a very stable and safe operation quality has also been achieved, which is even more impressive. For example, a Swedish boy shot a 9-minute video in a moving train where a cone stands still on the windowsill the whole time. High-speed rail can greatly reduce the time you spend on a journey by sitting on the road. Furthermore, it is also quite easy for everyone to get a ticket. You need your ID card or just a passport and your mobile phone. And speaking of the mobile phones, I have to introduce to you the smart payment in China. The development of technology has made our life more and more convenient. And when we go out, we just need to take our cell phone. We have WeChat Pay, Alipay, and UnionPay as three most convenient payment methods. You can use your cell phone to pay for tickets or for a bus ride, but that's not all. Our cell phone becomes a daily necessity because without it, we might not be able to buy something in a store. And daily shopping, or even just to buy vegetables at the market, avoiding the problem of not having enough money or no change. Of course, these functions are also available for foreigners. And the fifth reason why you come to China is the food. The Chinese cuisine refers to the regional dishes that have evolved in a long history of certain region due to differences in climate, history, production, and food customs. Let me give some typical examples of food culture of northern and southern China. The north is rich in wheat, so people's staple food is the cooked wheaten food. And in addition, due to the influence of the region and temperature in the north, in the past, only a small amount of vegetables were eaten in winter, but people did not want to eat it all at once, so they would pickle vegetables. So most of the people in the north formed the habit of eating salty. In contrast, in the south, where it is appropriate to grow rice and high yield, so the southerners mainly eat rice. Southerners prefer to eat sweet, sour, and spicy food, and some lighter flavor of food. The most representative is the Guangdong cuisine, of which dim sum brunch is the most popular, as we can see in the pictures. And this is the last part of my presentation. Today, I had the opportunity to introduce to you my home country, China. Of course, what I have shared is just a small part of it. If you have the chance, you must come to China. A few years ago, there was a hot buzzword on the internet called "The world is so big, I want to see it." Welcome to China to experience a different culture and to feel the warmth of the Chinese people. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much for your presentation. Let's proceed to the questions.
Well, I saw a lot of information about North China and South parts of China, but I'm just curious, what is your favorite province?
My favorite province actually it was Xinjiang. Like I introduced some natural views in Xinjiang, like in the first part. It was a very beautiful place.
Okay.
All right, maybe one question for me. So why did you specifically talk about the Tsipao, if I'm not mistaken, it's what it's called. Why did you?
Yes.
Yeah. Why did you take it as one of the biggest examples to showcase China?
I think the Hanfu is becoming more popular like recent years, but it's just one of the Chinese traditional customs, and the qipao is also one of the traditional Chinese customs. So I think it's actually different to the Hanfu, and it's very beautiful. I think it's my honor to introduce this clothes to some people that maybe they do not know it very much.
All right, sounds great. Well, and looking at the time, I think we can proceed to the next report. So we would like to once again thank you, Su Yueyan, for her presentation.
Okay, thank you.
And we will proceed with the presentation by Gilizadinov Maxim, Quaestor for Sea Cucumber Museum. And let us just very quickly get ready here. just start the screen share. All right.
Let's start. Good afternoon, participants and the jury. Today I want to tell you about the uniqueness of the Sikh Kampa Museum and the importance of children's tourism. There are a lot of different tourist resources in Primorsky. There are 4 types. The first is nature. The second is animal world, the third is sea world, and the fourth is cultural and historical resources. If you talk about the popular Sikh Kampa Museum, then it can be attributed to sea resources. The Sikh Kampa Museum is located not far from the favorite place of tourists, the Tokrovsky Lighthouse, on the shore of the picturesque Amo Bay. Japan Sea is the birthplace of the Sikh Kampa, and there is no better place for such museum than Vladivostok. The museum has 788 exhibits, more than 8 guides, 1,015 square meters of the exhibitions, and more than 650,000 people have already visited. After the appearance of the coronavirus, the tourists flow around the world fell off a lot. And soon, in order for the museum to survive, if it refocused on children's tourism. Why? Kids are more interested in quests than excursions. As it turned out, during many excursions, it is quite difficult for children to preserve a lot of information, and they get bored. Therefore, a museum made an excursions in the form of a quest. Children in the course of the quest should look for clues, and according to them find the golden Sikh Kampa. And also at the end they will have children's quiz, where children receive prizes for correct answers to questions. Therefore, children should listen very well to the guide and not in judge. Why do we need children's tourism? It is needed to expand the horizons of the child so that he learns many places in different parts of the country or the world. Also, traveling develops openness in the child because he will have to face strangers. And thirdly, it's just team building. That is the establishment of discipline and cooperation in the group. Thank you for attention. We'll be glad to answer your questions.
All right, let's proceed to the questions for Maxim.
I have a question. You said they focus on children.
Yes.
Is there anything else also for maybe a little bit older ones or the elderly generation they could be interested in as well? Is there anything else for it in the museum as well?
Can you repeat your question?
Okay. You said it's mainly focused on the children to make them interested in. But what about the elder generation? Is there anything else for them?
Our museum have elder tourists who want to see a cucumber, and
do they have some special tours for older people, or are the special tours only for children?
Are there any activities or what you said?
Oh. Can you repeat? We lagging.
We lost connection for a little while. Just the same question, right? Do they have some activities for elder people?
Elder generation, because right now they're focusing on children, but maybe the elderly or older generations are interested in as well. I would be interested in, but I'm not a child anymore, so.
We have we have a tour about cucumber for basic tourists, elder tourists, and early after coronavirus. Before? After. After coronavirus, we have only I would mostly just visit to buy things. We have only after coronavirus, we have only tour for elder people, not for child.
Okay.
Before это да. Before, not after.
Okay. Thank you.
All right. Any other questions? Maybe I would just very quickly ask, so how many visitors do you think are children, and how many visitors are elder people in your museum? Like, how many percent are children and how many percent are adults?
I think it's
probably you lost us for a little while, but I think well, if there are no other questions, maybe we shall proceed to our final report at this point. All right, thank you, Maxim. And let's proceed to our final report for today. And that's Zamchalkina Anastasia with her report on 5 reasons to visit Sortavala. So I probably mispronounced it, sorry if I did. Correct me, please. But nevertheless...
You pronounce it correctly.
Alright, sounds good.
Hello, everybody.
Yeah, we can hear you. Start sharing your screen for us to see your presentation.
Okay, share screen.
Alright, did we actually stop sharing our screen ourselves? No, we didn't.
Can you see my screen?
Yeah, we can see.
Okay. Good afternoon, dear participants and members of the jury. I apologize in advance for my sick voice. I'm a little bit ill. So, 5 reasons to visit my native city. My town is called Sardavala. It is located in Karelia. It is in the north of Russia, not far from St. Petersburg and the border of Finland. Karelia holds the third place in Russia in terms of overall tourist attractiveness for domestic tourists and the first places in terms of attractiveness in the field of active winter recreation. The first reason to visit Sardavala is Ladakh skiers. From the Sardavala pier, you can go on a short to Ladakh Skiers National Park. The beauty of this place is difficult to describe in words, so I recommend that you see all the splendor at least once rather than here in 100 times. Rocky massifs are replaced by endless forests, and the waters of Lake Ladoga are splashing along the shores, whose beauty can fascinate the first glance. It is worth noting that Ladoga skiers have the most diverse flora in all of the Karelia, and the fauna is full of bears, mouse, mice, wolves, foxes, and other forest dwellers. The second reason is Mount Pasavori. Pasavori is 78 meters high, and from its top there is a picturesque view on the nearest settlements and natural landscapes. Pasavori is also interesting from a historical point of view, because according to archaeological research in 12th and 15th centuries, the Pass settlements has located on the rock. The third reason is the Ruskela Mountain Park. It is located in 30 kilometers from the city of Sardavala. Today, the most quarry is the lake with rocks and few trees towering over it. Its space consists of many workings of the all kinds of shapes, colors, and sizes which give beauty to this place. In some corners of the quarry, you can see artificial caves that looks exactly like the real ones, which are closed to visitors. Only some gutters can be seen underwater with scuba gear. The fourth reason are Akhvenyovsky waterfalls or Ruskela waterfalls. Many of us watched the legendary film, and the towns are quite here. One of scenes of which was filmed in Ruskela waterfalls, also known as Akhvenyovsky waterfalls. There are 4 waterfalls in total. Their height does not exceed 3-4 meters, and the power of scale are truly impressive. Having visited Ruskela waterfalls, no tourist leaves here without a sea or positive emotions and dozing photos. The nature of Karelia is diverse and beautiful, and Akhvenyovsky is a perfect proof of it. Waterfalls will also appeal to fans of extreme sports because their rapids are perfect for kayaking. And the fifth reason is kalitki. Kalitki are traditional pies of small size with various fillings. But the most traditional are the kalitki with millet and mashed potatoes. So that's all I wanted to say about my hometown Sardavala. You can ask me any questions.
All right, thank you very much. Let's proceed to the questions. Maybe just the first questions. What do you think? What tourists normally visit your city? Do you actually have a lot of tourists? And if you do, from what parts of Russia or maybe from what countries?
So, in Sortavala, there are really a lot of tourists all over the year. It doesn't depend on season. So there are a lot of tourists in winter, in summer, in autumn, in spring. Every year there are a lot of tourists. They visit a lot of places, and these places that I told you. So normally tourists are from really different countries. There are America, China, India, so Spain, and of course there are a lot of tourists from different corners of Russia.
All right, sounds great.
I have a question. Which season could you recommend me to visit St. Petersburg? In winter or summer or spring, which season is the best time to visit it?
I can recommend you visit not St. Petersburg, Sartavala. I told about Sartavala. So I can recommend you summer and winter, because in summer there are a lot of there are a lot of trees with green leaves, and the beauty of nature is fantastic. But in winter, you are like in I don't know, in fairy tale. In winter, in winter, Sortavala is fantastic too.
Thank you.
All right, any other questions? All right, well, I guess that pretty much wraps up the first part of our event. So we are a little late in terms of our timing, but nevertheless, it was a great pleasure to listen to your reports. And now the procedure is as follows. So basically, we will need to discuss the results with our judges. So we will leave you hopefully for just about like 20 minutes. Let's hope we can summarize the results by that time. We will leave the conference open. So if you want to hear the results online, you're welcome to do so, and you're welcome to rejoin us in hopefully in about 20 minutes. If not, well, once again, I will send the results personally to each of the participants. So yeah, just like that, let's hope that in about 20 to 25 minutes we will get back and discuss the results. Until then, I will mute myself, stop the video, and we'll see you in 20 minutes. And Steffi, I will just contact you separately to discuss the results. So make sure to check your messages. All right.
Okay.
See you very soon.
Да, включи камеру, пожалуйста, на пару секунд. Тосюн.
make sure I enable all of my equipment, and I should actually turn on the lights already for us here. We are ready to announce the results, so we will just give it another minute or two in case someone else would well rejoin us. And in in 2 minutes I will officially announce the results. So stay tuned. All right. I guess we should not wait much longer. Once again, I will announce the results to each of the participants individually as well. But to just finish the official part of our event, let us still announce the result publicly during the conference itself. It was a very nice discussion, and we couldn't quite make it in 20 minutes. It took us a little longer than 30 minutes. But nevertheless, we are ready to announce the results. And first of all, I think I would, on behalf of all of us, would like to once again thank you all for your participation. It was a really great event. It was very insightful. It was very interesting. It was very well unique, I would say, and it gave us a lot of well insights, and it allowed us to look at some of the maybe common problems and well maybe some of the places which we heard about. It gave us an opportunity to look at it from different angle, you know, and to see something different and to learn something to ourselves. And me personally, I enjoyed the events very, very much, and I always well enjoy this type of events. And once again, thank you all for your hard work. Thank all of your well teachers who helped to prepare you. And let's actually proceed to the announcement of the results. We will go according to the sections which we specified in the announcement letter. And the first section was actually the one which had the largest participation, let's put it this way. And this was the section 5 reasons to visit my country or my city or my region, my area. And for this section, the places, the words are as follows. Hopefully, once again, I will try to pronounce your first names and last names correctly. I will stick to the last name to make it shorter. So on the third place, we have Vasilieva Elena, 5 reasons to visit Yakutia. For the second place, we have a tie between Ekaterina Beznosova and Gao Mei Qi. And on the first place, we have a winner, Su Yue Yan. Congratulations to the participants in this section. For the second section, one tour around my city. The words are as follows. On the third place, we have Gilizudinov Maxim. On the second place, we actually have a tie between Xiao Xiong, 5 Reasons for Chinese Tourists to Visit Moscow, and Anastasia Zamchalkina, 5 Reasons to Visit Sartavala. And on the first place we have Hu Fan with her presentation on wonderful Gansu Silk Road. Congratulations to the participants and winners in this section. For the third section, we have the following results. On the third place, we have Wang Jinwen. On the second place, we have Jian Xun Yi. And on the first place, we have Yan Xin Yi. Congratulations to the participants and winners in this section. And for the last section, in terms of, well, the order, technological trends. The third place we've got Makarova Yulia. On the second place we have, on the close second we have Chiburakova Anastasia, new technology trends in medical tourism. And on the first place we've got Li Zi Yan. So these are the results. Once again, I will also send the results to each of you personally, and we will work on getting the diploma in the very nearest future. So hopefully I will provide you the digital copies very, very soon. If you have any question, comments, remarks in terms of the events, in terms of your results, feel free to share with us. It's a good time for you to maybe enable your microphone and share with us your thoughts. And if not, well, it was a hard day. It was a lot of work. It was a lot of prep work for you to come up with your reports. So once again, thank you very much for your participation, and well, and hopefully we'll see you around maybe even next year. So let's just give everyone a round of applause. And I guess we'll see you soon. Bye.
У них призы какие будут? Только, получается, диплом?
На дипломы мы постараемся все-таки сделать именно, чтобы это было, вот либо, я не знаю, получится ли у нас от агентства по туризму в этот раз, прямо чтобы руководитель агентства подписал, либо туристский информационный центр, то есть это прямо все-таки внешняя среда, и этот дипломы такие, ну, уже весомые, которые можно в портфолио там приложить тоже в профильных, да, ну как бы руководитель агентства по туризму подписал. Вот, ну да, пока просто у нас бюджета нет на подарки.
Понятно. Это они начнут спрашивать, я их знаю.
Нет, ну получается, вот тоже первое место у БАИ, тоже, да, одно, поэтому молодцы. Ну вот он прямо, у него голос такой дикторский, вот у первого парня. Ну отвечал как-то немножечко так.
Экономист по образованию, а девочка как раз на английском учится, так сказать.
Ну, значит, она запутала немножко девушку.